I don't know why it took me this long, but it really has finally just hit me how strange a 4 p.m. Thursday start time is for an actual sporting event that counts. Oh yeah, no, this was like the fakest game to ever count. Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 57, and also kind of 56, I'm sorry, of the regular season where the Astros lose, but then they win. Then they win 4-0 over the Seattle Mariners to at least salvage something out of the Mariners series. Briefly, sorry that I couldn't get around to the video yesterday. Very, very early wake-up call this morning at 4 a.m., and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that to myself. Briefly, my thoughts for yesterday's game, so game 56 where they lose 2-1 in extra innings. That sure is fun. Verlander looked fantastic. Like, Verlander is back. He's really freaking good. I don't know. He found the fountain of youth. It's the Holy Grail from Indiana Jones, the third one. He found it. He doesn't make any sense, and I also just don't like thinking about Justin Verlander because it's really nice to turn your brain off every once in a while, especially the way the season has gone, and just be like, God, he's fun to watch. And he's fun to watch. Like, God, he's fun to watch. Dominant. 9 strikeouts over 7 innings, 1 run given up, only 1 walk. He was great. He was fantastic. And then my final note for that game, boy, I hate the extra inning rule. Have I mentioned that I despise with every bone in my body, with every fiber of my being, the last atom within me, that I do not like the extra inning rule? And then you have to... And then, hey, speaking of generationally talented pitchers having a dominant day in Seattle, everyone saw this coming. Spencer Arrighetti, with easily the best game of his major league career. There's no, like, asterisk to put on this. He was just dominant. Like, Arrighetti looked great. Goes 6 innings, a shutout ball, gives up 3 walks, only a pair of base hits, and 8 strikeouts. He's looked good the past couple times out, I've thought. He's had good strikeout stuff. I'm not saying that he's going to come into his own and be this elite guy, but there's potential for him to at least be a serviceable guy in the rotation. And who knows how it's going. There seems to be good stuff happening with Lance McCullers. I can't set myself up for heartbreak again, so I'll believe it when he's actually on the mound pitching in games. Luis Garcia is going to throw from the mound, I believe, tomorrow/today, depending on what time this actually comes out, which is really good news. But, dude, they're probably going to need, at bare minimum, a long relief guy in the pen. And Arrighetti, in certain situations, might split time with a guy like Lance. You might have Lance go 3 innings and then Arrighetti go 3. Yeah, there's a chance there, especially if you can figure out the way he seems to be figuring it out. Like, he was great today. There's no great no, he was unreal. I was kind of flabbergasted. You had a really solid outing from the bullpen as well. You had Rafael Montero picking up a strikeout in a scoreless inning. You had Presley picking up a strikeout in a scoreless inning. Josh Hader would give up a couple of base hits, and you kind of thought in the back of your mind, like, oh, we're going to do this, aren't we? But, pair of strikeouts. Gets through the 9th. No runs given up. And the Astros offense had done enough. Alex Bregman with a 2-run shot. You'd get a Carantini ground out, but it scores a run, and also a Carantini home run. Like, overall, they did enough. And, like, not to dampen the mood, but I also should specify, they did enough to win that game. Overall, that was an incredibly depressing series, where the Astros really could have made up ground, or at least not lost any ground to the Mariners, but instead lose 3 of the 4 in incredibly annoying slip away from your hands fashion, especially yesterday's game, man. The 2-1 just makes you want to kind of cry. They got 1. If you want other positives, you had Verlander pitch a gem. You had Arrighetti look really good. Verlander's a guy that obviously you need to step up and be big. Arrighetti is a very nice piece of found money if he can be serviceable. They at least salvage 1 game out of it, which isn't great, but it's something. And right now, again, you were kind of building up that momentum. You kind of continued to build on it. This was a really bad speed bump, but I'm going to hopefully think it is just a speed bump back on the march to relevance. And they figure it out against the Twins. Now, that's up for debate. We're going to see how that Twins series goes. but I am willing to just continue along. They had a really good couple week span. It's no longer, oh, they had a really good weekend. No, they had a good stretch, like for a couple of weeks. I'm willing to say it's a speed wobble if you go out and win the series against the Twins. Going for you, you're going to be back in Minute Maid Park, and also going for you, first game, Pablo Lopez for the Minnesota Twins, which sounds intimidating, but he has an over 5 ERA. It's almost at 5.5 this season. And then for the Astros, you have Ronel Blanco, who might honestly be kind of in line to win the American League Cy Young right now. I just got to throw that in the air. Like, he's been that good. It's been stupid for Ronel Blanco. He's sitting at a $1.99 ERA. So, you have the pitching advantage, at least for this season, going into that game tomorrow night. And it'll be back at home. And, hey, guys, get this. They had figured out how to win at home again, which is a very nice thing to know how to do. Game 1 of the series is going to be tomorrow night at 8:10 Eastern, 7:10 Central, and I will be here afterwards to talk about it. But as for right now, that is all I have to say. If you enjoyed the video, please consider to like and subscribe. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.